Alright, so in this video we're going to look at simple interest. Uh, and we got about two or three problems to work. Uh, we're going to actually have one where we have to solve for R, so you may want to check that one out too. So let's look at the problem we have. It says, alright, so here, well, this typo, that should be the, so it should be the simple interest I on P dollars at a rate of interest R per year for T years is I equals PRT. All right, so I is the simple interest, P is your principal, that's the amount of money you either borrow or maybe put in a savings account or whatever. R is your interest rate and T is your time. Now it's important here to know that T is the number of years. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our example. We've got three of them to do. Yeah, three of them. All right, so here it says find the interest on the loans. All right, so here we have $35,000 at 6% for 9 months. All right, so remember we have I is equal to P times R times T. All right, so in this problem, P, that's the principal, the amount of money. That's your $35,000. R is your interest. That's 6%, but when we write R, we write it as a decimal, so that would be 0.06. And then T, that's the time. Now remember, T is the time in years, so that would be 9 over 12. That's the way we would express months in years. Just like 6 months would be 6 over 12 or half a year. Okay. All right. And I mean, we can go ahead and put T equals 3/4. We'll reduce the fraction. It doesn't matter if you reduce it or not. It'll come out the same. Okay, so you can leave it as 9 over 12 or you can reduce it to 3 over 4. Okay, we'll just leave it as 9 over 12 when we plug it into the formula. So we get our interest is equal to P, which is 35,000, times R, 0.06, times the time, which is 9 over 12. That's how we would express the 9 months. And so when we plug this into our calculator, what I would do is I would just type in 35,000 times 0.06 times 9 and hit equals, and that'll give you 18,900, and then hit divided by 12, and that gives you $1,575. And so there's the answer for that. Okay, so that's the interest, the simple interest. Now we have simple interest, we have compound interest. So when do you know when to use what? Well, simple interest is typically for loans that are less than a year. Compound interest would be for loans that are more than a year. Okay. All right, so let's look at the next one. It says to pay for textbooks, a student borrows $450 from a credit union at 6.5% simple interest. He will repay the loan in 38 days when he expects to be paid for tutoring. How much will he pay interest? How much interest will he pay? All right, so this is, just like the one before. I equals PRT. We want to find the simple interest. All right, so now it says that he's going to borrow $450, so that would give us P equals 450. The interest rate, R, that's 6.5%, so that's 0.065. We convert the percent to decimal by moving it 2 places to the left. And then the loan is 38 days. Well, so T, So remember the 38 days, that has to be expressed as in years. So because remember t is in years. So it's 38 days, and how many days are in a year? Well, we use 365 unless we're told otherwise. Okay. So now we just plug everything into our formula here. So we get I is equal to P times R, 0.065, times 38 over 365. And so we get I is equal to, and then the same thing the way I plugged it into this one, that's 450 times 0.065 times 38, and hit equals, and then divided by 365. And that is going to give us 3.05 when we round it. And when you're dealing with money, round it to two decimals. Okay, so that's the amount of interest he would pay. So not a lot of interest. All right, so here we have an account invested in a money market fund. An account invested in a money market fund grew from $67,081 to $67,359.39 in a month, in 1 month. What was the interest rate to the nearest tenth? All right, so, well, let's find that. So we've got I equals PRT. We're looking for R. Okay, so we invested this much money, $67,081. So that tells us that P is $67,081. Okay. T, well, it happened in what amount of time? 1 month. So 1 month expressed as a year is 1 over 12. Okay. Now, we're looking for R, so we need to know what I is. So in this case, I would be this difference here. See, it grew from this to this, so the interest is the difference between the two. So that's the 67,359.39 minus 67,081. And that is going to give us $278.39. All right. So there's the interest I. So now let's plug everything in. So we're going to plug it into this formula here. So I get 278.39 equals P, which is 67,081 times R times T. Okay. All right, so that's going to give me 278.39 equals, and that's going to be 67081 over 12 when I multiply those two times R. All right, so let me erase this. Now, what do we need to do to solve for R? Well, we need to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Okay, and see, that'll cancel the 12 and the 67081 out. And that is going to leave us with R is equal to, so we'll need to figure this out. So that's going to be, let's see, I'm going to do 12 times this, hit equals, and then divide that by 67,081. And that gives me 0.0498. Okay, so they said round to the nearest tenth. So if I move the decimal 1, 2 places, okay, so that's going to give me R is equal to 4.98. And look, that's 9, that's 98%. I know that's not to the nearest tenth, but it's to the nearest hundredth. Okay, but if we do round it to the nearest tenth, that would actually go up to 0 to 10, carry your 1. So that's actually comes out to just 5%. Okay, and this is rounded to 2 decimal, and that's rounded to the tenth because we would have to round the 4 up also. Alright, so I hope this video helped. Check out the other videos. Give me a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.